$2,150 plus on the line for the very best of Spellweaver to compete for. I am the Foz.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Boltar.
Anyways, if you guys look at this list, I mean, we don't have everyone, but we have the full list, and 2 of the previous champions are not on it. Peacekeeper and Laurentiel will not be competing, which means we will be crowning a new champion this time. Now, Boltor is going to tell us a little bit about some of the wild cards and some of these people that we might not have seen before.
That's right. Our top 10 qualifiers from the ladder are Paul123K, Type 100, PewQ, and Silver, Jodo, of course, Severus, Svex, one of the two, Sprush, Uskafanafa, and Cloud OT Stars. Now, our 3 golden ticket qualifiers. I'm a Hoppy, which is going to be so much fun to say this tournament, Krier and Crueltech, and our 3 wildcards. Bloomrock, who is one of the representatives from Mom Cards. Everyone knows Mom Cards. They hosted the first Spellweaver tournaments before the Masters tournament started. Baiken, who is new to the Spellweaver scene, who runs a YouTube channel in French with his buddy Dej, who I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't speak French. And the final one is Alesh, who some of you might recognize. He's a Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Hearthstone pro, and he will be streaming his matches alongside us.
Yes. So, as normal, we'll try to avoid streaming with the other guys, except in the final match. As always, I would like to remind everyone that we will have a 5-minute stream delay to prevent stream sniping, and because of that, when we actually switch to looking at games, there will be a 5-minute break for you guys while the stream catches up to the delay. But before that, we have to do our honorary bets placing with Boltor for our favorites to win.
Ah, yes. Well, let's see. With Peacekeeper and Laurentiel out of the way, I think this is absolutely, positively Jodo's time to shine. So my safe pick, quote-unquote, will be Jodo. And my backup pick, my out-of-left-field pick, I think goes to Cloud OT Stars, who placed 3rd last time around and almost just barely missed grasping that brass ring. So I think he might just pull it off this time. Or she. I'm not 100% sure.
You honestly just never know.
Yeah.
Now, for myself, since my boy Laurentiel is not in the house this time, I've got to improvise. So for my quote-unquote safe pick, I'm going to go with the veteran Crueltech, who probably has just played the most Spellweaver games of anyone. And for my LOL pick, let's take this Type 100 guy, because I've never seen him before. Let's see what he's made of.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's worth mentioning that we still have an opportunity, you still have an opportunity to donate to the Masters Championship Fund. Half the money that you donate goes right into the fund and goes to the players that you love watching, the players that you want to win, and the players who do end up winning. The Championship Final Fund will be open for the entirety of the tournament and will not close until we crown ourselves a champion. So if you like, you can donate some money, you get cool little, whatchamacallums,
mystery
what do they
boxes?
call them? Yeah, mystery boxes. You get cool little mystery boxes with crystals and coin and card backs and even card packs, I believe. And there's an exclusive card back with, what is it? It's Advanced Nieva this time around, right?
I have not seen what the patron one is.
I believe the patron one this time around is Advanced Nieva, and it's a card back with Advanced Nieva on it. It says backer or supporter or something along those lines.
It's badass is what he's trying to say.
Exactly, and you get it if you donate. I believe it's $100. So if you donate $100, $50 of that goes into the Masters Championship Fund. The other half goes straight into the Spellweaver's coffers, and it's or at least what the funds that they use to develop and build and promote and push the game. So not only are you helping the players make more money, but you're also helping Spellweaver get bigger, better, and badder.
Yes, so that we can have more of these tournaments. Anyways.
Yes, and
so,
they're working on, or there's another tournament in the works, if I remember correctly, isn't there?
There was something on the forums, but I do not believe it is sanctioned by.
It is not an official
By
Spellweaver
Dream Reactor.
tournament, but it is. It was being run by another site, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. I just didn't read very much into the details.
Exactly. So I wonder if our winning, or if our champion this time around will have read Laurenthiel's Becoming a Spellweaver Pro lessons. How funny would it be if the winner comes right up to us and says, "Wow, yeah, I kind of sucked until I started reading Laurenthiel's thing, and then bam, it's like it completely turned me around."
Yeah, Laurentiel is not only a good player, but he's also a mentor, bringing up the new generation of Spellweaver players.
Alrighty, so
It seems we're still waiting for some players. We have 12 out of the 16.
yes.
Since I don't have the list in front of me, I don't know who exactly we're missing.
Well, let's see. We have Alesh, we have Baikon, or Baishon. Someone's gonna have to tell me that pronunciation of that one, because like I said, I don't speak French. And we have Bloomrock? We don't have Bloomrock from what I can tell, so we're missing one wild card. I'm a Happy is there, Krier is there, and Krilltech is there. So we've got all of our gold ticket holders. Puckle is here, Type 100 is here, PewQ is here, N Silver is here, Jodo is here, Severus, I don't see him.
I do not see
so
Severus.
That's 3. Sveeks is also not here. So those are the 4 that we are missing. Sveeks, Severus, Bloomrock, and oh wait, no, that's only 3. Because I can't count. I thought we were missing someone from the qualifier. Let's see. Uskafanafa. That's our 4th.
There you go. But yeah, there's still time. Generally, these guys do come around. They may be doing some last-minute testing, or maybe praying to whichever god is on their side this day. Probably RNGesus.
Well, today's Sunday, so RNGesus is taking the day off.
That should be interesting. And it looks like the chat's starting to liven up with some interesting people.
I'm not sure how to explain how to pronounce Baikon.
I think it's like Bichon or something.
Bichon? Yeah, that's what I guess what I'll call him, Bichon. Again, I took Spanish when I was in school, so I didn't take French because
I did, but it was so long ago. I don't remember anything.
My school actually didn't offer French. It was Spanish or nothing.
I mean, honestly, looks like I am right. Bichon.
Bichon. Okay, that was on the list of ways to pronounce it. I just didn't know which one was right.
I knew for sure it's not gonna be Baikon, because their pronunciation is not at all like English. The really funny ones are like where you like cut off the last 3 letters or something for some reasons I cannot explain. But hey, language is a language. Looks like Bloomrock is in the house.
All right, so now we're just waiting on 3.
Very good, very good. So now let's talk the expansion.
Oh yes, I actually don't have my clipboard in front of me. I left it downstairs. But I had written down all the changes and all my notes and everything. But
well, we'll just make do with what we can. So, thinking about the existing decks that got better. Rage got the new badass orc, the 2/3, who has been seeing play all over the place, and for good reason. One of the things Rage had some issues was that their 2-drops were just kind of mediocre. They just ran whatever they had, but now they've got a really good one. So from what I've seen, Fia has just been cut entirely. I haven't seen any Fias in unranked for a while.
Well, yeah, I think I'd much rather play a 2/3 that only sometimes has a chance to not attack rather than a 1/1 that, while admittedly trades really well in the mirror match.
Well, actually, not entirely, because the reason Fia was good is because she countered the goblins, but even Gibbo and Roni is starting to get phased out with the addition of all these new powerful 3-drops that Rage got. We got the one guy with Swift that's literally The card literally reads, I kill zombie legionnaires in my spare time. And the other is the, what's he called? The Flame Rune guy that basically reads, deal 1 damage when he comes in a way.
Yeah, before when it was at the start of the turn when he originally came out, I thought this guy was good, but just he had to survive, and then your opponent still got an attack in with him. He was just bad. But now that it's basically when you can play him and then just end, and he'll ping off something that either you trade it into and deal the 1 extra damage to, or just something in the back row that has 1 health.
Yeah, definitely a good card.
Not to mention Flame Rune Warrior in combination with the other new Rage card that's seeing a lot of play, Blood Frenzy, is just a wonderful effect, because not only can you throw out a Blood Frenzy and your opponent has to kind of go, all right, let's distribute the damage, so this guy's at 1 health, this guy's at 1 health, this guy's at 1 health. Suddenly Flame Rune Warrior comes down and picks off that one guy that you want to finish off.
But the best combination is Flame Rune Warrior with a Flame Rune Warrior. Because then they'll do 2 damage, because that'll be 2 counters. I mean, there'll be 2 Flame Runes, and each one will do 1 damage to the target. So yeah, Rage, I expect to see either Burning Rage or the, what do they call them, Crazy Rage or something. I expect to see both of those decks definitely in the lineup. What else do we have? Order received...
Well, wait.
Oh,
You're forgetting the most important Rage card that got buffed in the most recent patch.
What's that? Ruination?
Totem of Ragnarok. I mean, it's 2 speed now. He's like Lance's little brother. He could definitely,
He's alright, but I mean,
he could
you have to be
definitely
running
take
shamans.
the cake here.
Is anybody gonna play shamans? I don't think so.
Hey, that's what we thought in the first Masters tournament, and then we had a crazy game involving shamans.
Yes, only wild cards would be brave enough to do that, though. Anyways, moving on to Order. Order got removal. We got the Arrow Barrage, but more importantly, the buff to Soul Projection has made it actually an interesting card.
Oh yes, all those times that you Soul Projection me while sacrificing that crab. That is just dirty. It's a combo you really got to set up, but if you pull it off, that is dirty. But yeah, Soul Projection being actually decent in the form of one of those distribute cards, and the fact that it has that extra little caveat of exhaust a creature dealt damage that way, means that you're probably getting quite a bit of benefit out of Soul Projection. And yes, it is the second best distribute a card effect, second only to, of course, Arrow Barrage.
I'm actually not even convinced this is the case, because while Arrow Barrage seems like it should be good, consider that with the addition of cards like the Orc Torch, Orc Laborer, and the new Corruption 3/3 Ghoul, the early drops are getting healthier. And so Arrow Barrage is having a bit more trouble clearing, but it's still a good card.
Well, the thing that I love most about Arrow Barrage has to be the fact that it's actually a way for Order to deal with the back row, which is something that it just did not have before this expansion.
That is important.
The fact that you can focus on the support row and probably, if not definitely, kill what's back there, that's the big standout for Arrow Barrage, in my opinion. Interacting with the back row is huge, which is the main reason, if we're switching over to Nature here, which is the number one reason why I'm genuinely surprised. Where is that guy?
Grove Sentinel?
Yeah, I'm genuinely surprised we're not seeing more Grove Sentinel. But I think that might just have something to do with the fact that we're not seeing a whole lot of elves or nature at this point. Yeah. When nature comes back and the elves get stronger, expect to see Grove Sentinel. He is just too good.
I mean, it's a 3/2 with range that can hit back row.
Back in the day, 3/2 with range was enough to make Swiftblade Assassin playable.
And with that guy, you had to pay 1 mana to keep him on the board.
Yeah, this guy's just a straight upgrade. He's even an elf too, so you can play him in the Nature Dominion elf deck that isn't a thing.
Well, Sphinx joined very briefly, and then he phased out of existence.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
But let's
it means
talk
it's
about
here,
the
at least.
biggest change in order, Pegasus. I'm sorry, I just love the Pegasus effect. The fact that you can literally have one of your soldiers mount up. The fact that it can be any allied soldier or knight, and it can be a summoned creature, means that our little peasant George there, no neck George, can mount a Pegasus and ride on into victory. Which means I'll
Oh
make
my
it a
god.
2-speed flying creature. Yeah, so it could definitely, yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a Pegasus. Although, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here. If we're going to switch over to new cards, you heard it right here. I'm making this an official Boltor bold prediction. Shifting Alright, aka Super Chicken, wins the final match. The final game in this tournament. You know, both players are at 1 win apiece. It comes down to the winning player top decks Shifting Alright, looks down in his levels, has a rage level, drops it, swings, wins the game off of a Swifted Chicken. I'm calling it right here, right now. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh god. I mean, Chicken is a card that's so cool. It could make its way into a deck because it's once you have enough aspects, it's basically a Flame Serpent for 1 mana that doesn't die. It's cool. It's definitely a favorite card among everyone.
So let's talk about the number 1 change that I'm sure is on everyone's mind going into this tournament, and that is the nerf to Landslide.
Ah, yes. So
the card that Peacekeeper won 2 tournaments by just banning. The card that he literally won 2 Masters tournaments going into with the mentality ban Landslide. That was his strategy going into every one of his rounds was ban Landslide. But now Landslide still hits artifacts and spells, but they have to be 2 or less.
yes, and that is actually a huge thing because that means it can't hit the most important things you would want it to hit, like mutant, like lamps, like library guards, which definitely certainly against control decks who rarely run low-cost cards. Landslide is just not going to be helpful.
Landslide, of course, not hitting lamp. Wait, it does. It still hits lamp, doesn't
Lamp
it?
is 3 mana.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Landslide doesn't hit lamp anymore, so it's no longer a counter to Vamp Lamp.
Yes.
Let's see, who are we still missing?
Oh, we have 1 person. We got Bloomrock, Sphinx, and Uska. Severus, I believe, was the last name.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Again, I have no idea if there's like a replacement player waiting or not. We haven't had to deal with that in Masters, only in Pioneers. And
Well, we did have 1 person not show up last month. That was, I believe, it was one of our wild cards had to cancel at the last minute, and there wasn't a replacement for him, so we just.
Oh, that's right. We just had a buy.
Um.
Yeah. Oh, we're apparently being hosted for 1 viewer. Good to know.
Cool.
Glad someone is
So,
hosting.
if there's one change I really wanted to kind of tilt my head and look at, it was the infused subordinate change.
Oh, its mana cost was reduced by 1. That's a big deal.
Yeah, now it's a 2 mana 2/2 with 3 speed on 2 levels. So you could play it and then follow it up with a spell the following turn, and it's actually a pretty decent tempo play now. Maybe not obviously it's not the best. You play it and then follow it up next turn with library guards, and then the following turn you play a spell and potentially have the mana left over. It's okay. Give me 1 second. Oh no, we're taking care of it. Okay.
Okay. So what we just heard is that apparently Severus is having some problem getting in, but we already notified the devs. And
Yes,
they'll take care of it.
There is a minor issue, some kind of bug preventing Severus from getting in.
But I'm sure they'll take care of that. Anyways, the infused subordinate, is it actually playable? It's hard to imagine. Because if Wisdom Dominion is playing Wisdom Dominion, they usually tend to have a specific plan and a specific set of cards. But maybe if someone was going to try something new.
I mean, I like the fact that it's a card draw creature that gets bigger.
Sure. I mean, yes, this incarnation is actually a reasonable card, whereas the previous one was just... Its main problem was that it was just competing with library cards.
Yeah.
And now it isn't. So now it's
you don't
actually
wanna,
its own thing.
Not only is it smaller, but you have to enable its card draw as opposed to library cards just being instant card draw. The only issue I see with this card is the fact that it's competing literally in the same slot as Ancient Wisdom.
I wouldn't say it's competing. It's a different kind of card. It's a creature that you can grow that can give you cards. And it's got 3 speed. That's a nice thing. It's one of those cards which I put in the category of I think it's decent, but it just doesn't fit in a constructed deck. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just kind of in that middle section.
It's definitely a quality trials pick if those are the 2 colors you're in.
Oh yeah,
or 2
for
aspects.
Sure. And you have a decent number of spells. Yeah, definitely.
Now, I think it's worth mentioning. We probably won't see it in the tournament, but I think it's worth mentioning that we did in fact see a change to Zyara. So we will not be sitting here banging our heads against the desk whilst someone plays Zyara Reign of the Underworld. We will not be seeing that mirror match, thank God.
Yes, Zyara got a really interesting redesign.
I mean, I'm glad that she actually has some synergy now with spirits, and it actually makes playing that spirits energy kind of worth it.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, the fact that her previous ability of just weakening everything now only hits non-spirits. I mean, we're lacking some kind of heavy hitting spirits right now. Although it's interesting that other non-spirit creatures get weakened, and she's a specter. She's not a spirit; she's a specter. Now you're sitting there thinking, "Oh, what's the difference between a spirit and a specter?" But in the game, that makes a difference. The fact that she's a specter and not a spirit.
Well, it means that a Zyara will weaken another Zyara.
Yes.
Well, we got 5 minutes before we start. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're gonna get. I wonder if Hate Bears will still be played, considering that it got a little bit of a nerf in the sense that, well, Landslide is now, not really that good for them, and also the hero power in general.
Yeah, the hero power I don't think is a huge hit because, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of Hate Bears, but it seems like every time they activate Niamh's ability, they're usually getting roughly about 3 card draws.
Yes, that's true, but
it's not. I mean, we've all seen the games, we've all played against the games where a Hate Bears person before basically went, oh, creature, 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 and you're just like, God damn it. But that won't happen, and even as much of a rare case as it was before, it won't. We just probably won't see it happen. I think we'll see Hate Bears in some form. People will definitely be playing it, if only because some people will just still be thinking that they can make it work, or that they've been playing it for so long that it's just kind of a deck they're familiar and they're comfortable with.
They could try one of the other versions of Bears.
And when it comes to tournaments like this, a lot of time, half the time, going with something that is familiar, something you're very comfortable with, makes the difference.
True. Again, I'm sure the players did a lot of testing to figure out, which of the decks are the best, what's worth running, what's not worth running. So we'll see based on their picks and bans what their mindsets were. Well, we're just a few minutes away. We're still waiting for Severus. And it seems like everybody would like to see a change in the format.
Well, we've got, as I understand it, there are different formats in the works. They are discussing and testing different formats. Unfortunately, Conquest is just kind of the tried and true tournament format. It's like originally being just, best of 3 Swiss to a top 8 or top 16 or whatever cut that we see in like Magic Pro Tours and everything. It's tried, it's true, it's what people are familiar with. it does get a little dull. I mean, I certainly played my fair share of Magic tournaments that were just best of 3 Swiss and with a cut to top, whatever. And oops, there's the first time I did that today. It's gonna be probably another 4 or 5 times. But
Absolutely.
it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I understand that it does get boring, but we'll figure it. We'll figure something else out. Maybe one of the tournaments will be the Fuzzy Bolt Masters Challenge.
I would be quite impressed, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
No, I mean, it is still a conquest format, but
No, it's actually not. Fuzzy Bolt Master Challenge is not Conquest. It's different. It's the reverse of it. What's it called? Like King of the Hill or something?
last deck standing.
Yeah, it's something like that. But
Oh.
anyways, we got just about 2 minutes before we start.
We're still figuring out the issue with Severus, but
yeah.
we've got the developers working on it. They should be able to, if nothing else, just directly invite him into the tournament.
Yeah, just override the ticket restriction. Anyways,
Exactly.
once again, I will be reminding you guys that there will be a 5-minute break while we switch into the delay for the rounds. We've got to prevent stream snipes. And of course, if you're going to be streaming, I'd recommend you also put on a bit of a delay yourself, unless you just don't care. But I mean, you probably should care.
All right. So there is still time, and there will be time until the end of the tournament for people to donate to the Masters Championship Fund. We've had actually a few donations since we started streaming. So the more you donate, the more money that the developers have to work with for developing the game, the more money that goes to the people playing in this tournament, and you even get yourself a few cool little gifts. You get yourself mystery boxes. What are in the mystery boxes? Well, I can't tell you that because I don't even know. Because there's no guarantees you get this or that. It's got coin, it's got crystals, it's got card backs, it's got other things that begin with C. So let's see how we're going here.
The round should be starting. Yeah, I'm guessing they might hold it until they can figure out the issue with Severus.
Well, let's see. We are starting without him, it appears. That comes from Ivco. It appears we are starting the tournament because Severus is no longer online. So while we were attempting to contact him, he was there. He must have gone offline or just disconnected or... Oh, he's back. Let me see.
Well, I'm sure they want to wait a little bit longer because, it takes a lot of work to get a golden ticket, and to just, like, not be able to play, that would sting. I would definitely be...
Hang on, I'm getting a message from Severus.
Oh, looks like we got an update. And we'll see if we can get this resolved and just get this party started.
Oh, it appears he just missed the window. I'm being told by Ivco the tournament already started.
Well, can't they... I don't know how it works. I don't even know what I was trying to suggest. Can they do a thing with a thing? Oh, we're looking at the prizes. $651 for the top, $217 for the 4 3-pointers, and then $109 for the 11 guys with 2 points. So good opportunity to make some money. I'm not seeing the oh, round 1 is being played. So yeah, looks like Severus is not in this round.
All right. I'm basically waiting for the final word from Ivco.
Powell gets a bye. Okay. We'll start observing a game as soon as... Oh, I gotta switch to delay. That's right. See you guys in a second.